Hey TK, it's time for our last math class. So we are going to be looking at the last pages of our number studies packet today. Let's go over our objective for the last time and we'll see what we're gonna do. Objective is what we are going to learn. I can write and show 17, 18, 19, and 20. So getting all the way up to 20 now. Alright, so we're going to begin with number 17. So the first thing we do is we trace. And then I'm going to show you how we write it by ourselves. So practice first with tracing, and then we're going to write it by ourselves. And just like we do with all of our numbers, we start at the top and at the left. So we make our 1 down, and then our 7 across and diagonal down. Make sure you're leaving space in between your numbers. You make sure you have some finger space. And you go all the way across. So there's my 17s. Now I'm ready to find my 17 on the number line. Now we said we can count, or we can start from 10 and count up, or we can start from where we were before, the number before. The number before 17 is 16, which is the number we studied yesterday. And I'm going to go 1 over to find 17 and make my dot. Now, we need to find 17 in our 10 frames. And remember, all of these numbers are bigger than 10, so we need to start by filling out one whole 10 frame. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I finished my first 10 frame, which has 10 squares. We know all of our 10 frames always have 10 frames in it, 10 squares. So now I need to figure out how many more frames I need to fill in to make 17. So I'm going to start filling out my next one now. Let's look at 10 here. If I find 10 on my number line, let's see how many frames, how many more we're going to need to fill in to make 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we landed on 17. So that means I need to fill in 7 frames from my bottom one to make 17. So here I go, filling in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I filled in 7 more. Let's count and make sure we have 17 all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we know that we can make 17 by adding 10 and 7 together. Perfect! Let's do 18 next. I'm going to erase my number line and my writing and leave my frames the same so that we can add one more to build 18. Okay, let's talk about 18. So if 17 was written with a 1 and a 7, how are we going to write 18? With a 1 and an 8. So here I go. First you would trace, and now we are going to be writing our 1 and our 8. And we make sure we start at the top. Really trying to make that figure 8 that kind of looks like an S shape, and then another shape going back up. A curvy letter 8 here. And now let's find 18. So we could count, or we could look where our 17 was and move 1 over to find 18. Now with our 10 frames, we already had 17. We just need to add 1 more to make 18. So we're going to fill in 1 more frame here, and then we're going to count all together and see how many we have. So almost like we're adding. So here I go. I've added 1 more. So now on the bottom I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the top I have 10. So 10 and 8 makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 all together. 10 and 8 is 18. Another way we could add to 18. Now it's time to talk about 19. We're almost to 20. All right, let's talk about 19. If 18 was written with a 1 and an 8, 19 is written with a 1 and a 9. Do you see our pattern here? Each one of these numbers has a 1 in front of it. And then we have a 1 here, a 2 here, a 3 here, 4 here, 5 here, 6 here, 7 here, 8 here, 9 here. And next will be 20. So with our 19, we have a 1 and a 9. I'm making sure to leave finger space between my numbers, going all the way from the top of the line down. 19. Now let's find 19 on our number line. So last we were looking at 18. If we move 1 over, we find 19. Getting really close to 20. Now we have 8 in the bottom here, which means we were showing 18. Let's add one more, because when we had 18, when we hop one time, we get to 19. So we need to add one more frame here to show 19. So I'm going to add one more by coloring it in. And then we will count all the frames together. We'll add the 9 on the bottom to the 10 on the top to make 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have made it all the way to 19, and now it's time to talk about 20. Okay, let's think about 20. So I want you to think back to when we would count to 100 every morning in class. And when we would get to the 20s, I pointed out to you that each one of the 20 numbers starts with a 2. So 20 is written with a 2 and a 0. And just like the pattern with our teen numbers, our numbers 10 through 19, those have a 1 in the front. And then they go 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. When they're showing 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 20 has a 2 and a 0. And then 21 would have 2 and a 1. 22 would have 2 and a 2. 23 would have 2 and a 3. So do you see our pattern? We always start with a 0 and then we get bigger and bigger and bigger. So 20 is written with a 2 and a 0. It's at the very other end of our number line here because our number line shows us numbers 0 through 20. So it's at the very far right side. Now, we only have one frame left to fill in. So when I fill in this frame here, we now have 2 full 10 frames, which means that 20 is equal to 2 groups of 10. We can show 20 by having 2 groups of 10. 10 here and 10 here. That means that 10 plus 10 equals 20. Let's count and show that we're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we could also show that by saying 10 plus 10 equals 20. 10 and 10 is 20. So we added one more frame each time and made our numbers bigger. You guys did an amazing job with these big numbers. Make sure you write all your numbers all the way from left to right. You show me your numbers on the number line and fill in your frames. And you can draw that many things in that box. Remember, I told you yesterday that that part is optional. It's up to you if you want to do that or not, because I know that you guys know how to count. But a lot of you turned in some great pictures yesterday in that box, so I appreciate it. So TK, before we go, I wanted to say you do have some other math work that is up to you to finish. One of the next sheets I will explain is the next thing you would do after this is think about bigger and smaller numbers. You have a sheet that looks like this, and the way you would complete this sheet is by circling the number that is bigger. So you might see like 5 and 15. Which is a bigger number, 5 or 15? 15, so you would circle 15. It's really important that you know which numbers have more, which are bigger, because that's going to be something that will help you as we keep counting to higher numbers. So that would be the next sheet that you work on. I also gave you some addition with big numbers sheet. So you have a story problem that talks about adding numbers that are bigger than 10. You have a couple of those. So if you want to try that out now that we've done our numbers to 20, you are welcome to. If you want to take pictures and send it to me, you may. This could also be something that you do during the summer to keep up your practice, because in kindergarten, you will need to know how to write your numbers, and you will need to know about adding and subtracting like we've learned, and you'll need to know about how many numbers are, like be able to show what 20 looks like on a number line in your 10 frames, things like that. So it might be a good idea for you to keep practicing those things over the summer. But if you want to do the work and send it to me and see how you did, that is totally okay with me. So good luck, TK. You did an amazing job this spring in math. I am so proud of you. I cannot believe we got this far. It really amazes me, and thank you so much for working so hard.